Hey everybody, Cam here with a video on a couple stocks today. So one's going to be RHE Regional Health Properties, low float stock, obviously took off today. The other one's going to be ISNS, Image Sensing Sensors or Systems Company. I couldn't say that in the last video when I talked about it too. But both of them broke out, so they broke out on Monday. Yesterday had pretty quiet days, inside days, and then broke out again today. So I'm going to look at a couple things, two marked sit alerts on, and then look at potential other stocks that could take off the rest of this week too. Looking at previous moves from earlier in this week. So we'll start with RHE. So here, 5-minute chart. You see here back on Monday. Really started moving on last Friday. Actually, zoom out a little bit. So we got kind of like this midday break. So about 9 a.m. took off higher. So this is a very low float stock, about 1.6 million shares float. So moves very rapidly. Obviously, huge increase in volume in the last couple days. If you look at last Wednesday and Thursday, nothing compared to what's here. Friday, Friday we got the push up higher, pulled back into the close, higher in the aftermarket hours. Pre-market stays high on Monday. Quick push right off the open, get all the way up into the 14s, pull back, and then close pretty close to the highs again. And then we start gapping down, move down after hours, pre-market, sell off, get down here, put it low at 885. We'll see that on the daily when I talk about ways to potentially find these plays. And then today, monster move, right? So nobody can predict a move like this, right? From 9 to 27, so 3 times your money in literally 3 hours. So incredible gainer today. It sold off the second half of the day. We had this weird halt around 8 o'clock, and if I bring it up over here, right, it doesn't even show the halt on TD Ameritrade, and there are a couple of news articles here. When it was halted, just says the company commented saying there's no news announced that's affecting the stock price, so this is purely a technical play. But see, sold off, and then we respected support levels pretty well here, at least first in the morning after the set the high. Got the bounce here, 1920s, where we consolidated for that second push up, and then kind of stair step our way down, and then got this quick push after hours on pretty high volume right at the close, and then pulling back now back into the 17.5s. So obviously we're going to look for this hammer here to be hopefully as support going into after hours, and that kind of corresponds with the volume down below, right? So not a lot of volume around 17, volumes in the 16 to 15 area, so that's a hammer. And you'll notice the dotted line, so that dotted line was the high previously. So we go out to the daily side of things. You see we did have a previous move back in December. So one thing that you like to see is a history of a massive move. Obviously short float stocks are going to be able to make massive moves here. So this move prior, 162 to 1577, so almost 10 times in one day. Obviously when you have a move like that, you're going to get a massive pullback to the moving averages. And so it hit 1577, closed at $3.14. So if you bought in late, you're basically screwed. So screwed underwater. But we did get the stair step effect over a couple days. Got back up to 9.9, couldn't break the double digit marker. But we were able to do that on Friday. So Friday got to 10.11. So that could have been a reason to have this stock on watch for Monday. It broke a psychological level, get this move higher. And then you see here what I did with these price levels. I just marked them. So I marked the high for Monday. I got the close, the high and the close for Monday. Let's go in order here. And then I marked the close, the open, and the high from yesterday. And then I didn't mark anything today. But so play I'm talking about where you could potentially see this move, right? So we basically get a big gap up, shoot up higher, right? So if you follow Rob Smith in the Black, he likes to call his candlestick plays by numbers. So this would be a two, so gap up 2. So basically we moved out of the open and close of the prior candle, so moved higher. A 1 would be the inside bar, and then today's candle again would be a 2. This setup, traditionally on Japanese candlestick, this would just be a a bullish Rami, right? So still, but big candle, engulfing candle, smaller inside candle. This would be the Rami candle, and then the breakout. So get set high alerts, break at the close, break the open, and one way to look at this too from candlesticks perspective is, we did put in a little bit lower low yesterday on Tuesday, 8.85, and then Monday's close 8.9. So buyers really came in at that 8.9 level, because this is a considerable gap from Friday, 722 to 8.9. What that's 25% move right there. So buyers really came in, held that level. You see zoomed out. Obviously, that's where the volume is from those three candles on the day. The last 3 days, it's put in all that volume here. Everything else below is prior. So that volume shelf is sitting there right at 8.9. Going forward, and you see kind of what I'm talking about here with the volume on the daily. Obviously, everything above 16.1 is all new volume from today. So that's basically a washout move. So washout long. So everybody that was short on Monday is now having to cover. So you could really call this extension of the move was a short squeeze today, as people had to cover on this low float stock, and that's what happens when you have shorts on low floats, right? They have to stack it on each other. It ladders up really quickly, and you get massive moves. So we're going to look to see if we can find some support tomorrow in pre-market or after market hours here at this 16.1 level. So that should just be a point in your head to see if it holds. So if we get down there and we get a bounce, you could look to stay long, because still, whoever was short on Monday is still underwater. But obviously here, 27.72, if you look at the candle, a lot of selling volume. So shorts probably re-entered all throughout the afternoon today. Maybe not, they don't want to get out of their position, maybe be greedy. So we'll see if they can knock this down tomorrow going forward. So this was a big mover, ISNS. If you look at the daily, somewhat similar setup. So here, we got the gap up Friday, so kind of more of a bullish move. Then the massive move Monday, and then after hours on Monday, they put out their earnings. So we got that gap down. We see here we didn't even really threaten the low, but still had an inside candle day. And so similar play to RHE. I mean, this wasn't really a watch for me this morning until I actually saw it was above like $10. I think the time I saw it in the morning, right? But it'd be a similar thing, right? So we get this candle here. You mark the low, open, close, and the high, and then based on where the gap is. All right, so here we actually gap down. So so your first mark you're going to look at potentially go long is if we can cross over yesterday's open mark. And if we do hold that, then you're looking to take out the close mark and then the high, and then once you get through the high, right, and make another move up. So here obviously we didn't get enough buying strength, and obviously you can see by the volume, still had quite a bit less volume than on Monday and Friday, so 44 and 38 million to 14 million. So the bulls weren't able to overtake the sellers that were sitting up here at 1158. Obviously here, not a lot of selling pressure, but there was today. So so once they probably saw that the high was not going to be threatened, they just stacked up on the shorts, started to sell this thing off as long term everything reverts down to moving averages, right? So they're expecting this play to pull back down here over time. So look to see if these two stocks can make moves the rest of the week. But the other one now that is on my list to watch would be this PRPO. So obviously you see I had it marked. These are all from daily, the intraday move here, but still quite a kind of a different setup. Obviously a huge move on Monday. Tuesday, we get the gap up, make a big move in the morning, and then big sell off. And then today we kind of have this spinning top candle. But one thing, if we go down, I think it was on, it might be the 5 minute, or yeah, you can see it here on 5 minute, probably better on the 15. So from this move on Monday, you see we kind of put in the initial move here all the way on the left. Now we pushed up to this $4 area, found resistance, seller smacked us down, and then we broke that. That's when we took off. So that $4 was kind of that breakout level, And then you see here, you know, we've been selling off. We made that big move first thing yesterday, sell off, a little bump in the afternoon, sell off, right? And then we sold off all morning today. You know, comes right after lunchtime. We threaten that $4 mark, got a low here at 403, and we bounce, right? So bounce up back into the 575. So that's obviously, you know, what that's, you know, over a 40% move right there just in the afternoon. And then see here after hours, see how we consolidate. So still red on the day, but this $4 level wasn't broke, so that's going to be an important zone tomorrow. So we may get another bounce down here. So say this thing keeps selling off after hours, whatever it does, $4 is kind of the bull bear mark in my mind that I'm going to be looking at. If $4 can hold tomorrow, could be an area to enter and go long. If it breaks, expect more downside. So those are just, you know, some plays and things I was looking at. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. I didn't really make any big plays on RHE, just besides some feelers here and there to, you know, try to get in on that initial move this morning. Really, the areas of interest when I saw it was about that $14 and the $16 area. Put in a hammer where I got in about 100 shares, but nothing big. So, hope you guys got something out of this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, how you played these stocks today and what you're looking at for the rest of the week. Appreciate you taking the time to watch the video, and we'll see you in the next one.